Okay, welcome to part two of introducing this FAS Plus score that I've created over the last few months here at Sorare Strategy. Again, just a quick recap, trying to create a sort of a single score, a single metric that can help me and you in terms of buying and selling, making trades, things like that. And important that I am sourcing from credible places, places that have objective measures and kind of well thought out data points, that I can turn these into kind of units of comparability. So I'm not comparing these strange percentages versus dollar signs and things like that, that they all kind of come down to single digit numbers. And then that it's simple. We should be able to intuitively understand the thinking behind it, which is what I'm taking you through. And that making a snap decision, you can actually quickly look up these numbers or add them up in your head and make a call. So the previous video we went over form. Let's go over A, which is ability. So a couple key factors here. So one was, again, I'm not a scout. I don't try and offer advice from my own gut or intuition, but rather use sources that have put far more investment in time and energy than I have. So I looked at a number of places and ultimately settled on two. And so here are ones that I hadn't. First of all, FIFA Score is fantastic, great place to look at a player. I don't know why I chose Anthony Modeste, but I just did. It kind of came up. So you definitely get a score sort of where he's been over the last few months. You get game by game scores. This is great to actually start to dig into when you really are scouting players and comparing. There's a wealth of data here, but I felt that this played a little bit too much into form as opposed to ability or talent, if you will. These guys, Football Critic, they also come up with like an FC rating. They don't really go into how they calculate it, and so I was a little bit, not dubious, but just I wanted to have a better sense of it, I suppose, because I hadn't quite heard of them. I didn't know. I felt like there were a lot of numbers that were comparable. And I also found that there were a lot of players that just weren't ranked. Not a lot, but enough that it made it kind of problematic. And so I was using them at one point, and then I kind of pulled them out. And but still a really interesting site, and I encourage you to check it out. But the one that really stuck out at me, FIFA Index, and there's a number of these, but really just looking at EA Sports FIFA rankings and scores. At the end of the day, I figured that such an institution like Electronic Arts, they put so much work and scouting and processes behind their scoring system, and it's been around for 20 years, and they're also in my backyard here in Vancouver. So I trusted it. I felt like their scores are reliable, and what I like about this site in particular, a couple things. One is that it's super easy to just pull up a player and have a quick look. So let's see, Sadio Mane. Boom, right there. You can just quickly see the two scores that maybe matter most. So this is the overall score, and then this is their potential. I also like that it gets updated quite frequently, so we can see how this plays out as when FIFA 22 comes in. These things will start to come up as well, so I quite like that. And then the second one that I used to calculate is transfer market, which I'm sure a lot of Sorare players reference. I think it's pretty obvious as to why. It allows us to see in dollar amounts the valuation of a player. What is somebody worth? How have they moved? How has that dollar amount moved in recent times? This is a hugely reputable site as well. And so I felt the combination of an Electronic Arts based like FIFA game scoring system. It's been around for a few decades here, quite robust in its calculating, and could quickly show me both talent and potential, and then kind of player valuation in terms of dollar signs, or kind of contract level, or sort of what their value is in the market. Sorry, those two things to me really showcased ability. And so when we look at the spreadsheet here, you'll see, so this was form that we were playing with before, and now I've added talent. And so the two scores that I look at, I like seeing overall. I mean, the one problem with FIFA and really a lot of these ones is that there's just a lot of like very similar numbers here. And I guess that's the case in anything, but I felt that like a person's current talent, it'd be very difficult to really determine how, what the difference between 1 point is versus another. So I like having this column here so I can quickly glance at it. I can see that somebody like this, Ramos has a long way to go to reach his potential, and that can be super exciting, but that can also be quite risky. So instead, what I'm only taking is the FIFA 21 potential score, and when 22 comes out, I'll change this and update it. And basically 85s, kind of color coded them there for quick reference. 85 plus gets you 3 points in this regard. 80 to 85 gets you 2, and then in the 70s is 1, and under 70 is 0. I mean, I don't have any zeros because I'm not even, I probably wouldn't look at them or kind of continue on. And then the next one is transfer market. And so the value here, again, 3 points for 30 being valued at 30 million plus, 2 points for 20 to 30, 1 for 5 to 20, and 0 for under 5. This is the current value. I put in another column here for previous value just to, at a quick glance, be able to see if it's moving up or down. A lot of them have moved down because of the pandemic and just kind of global economy. So we sort of, I'm not really taking too much stock in this. This score here is in relation to, this column here. I should probably switch them. But as you can see, the numbers play out here. And so to me, I get a really good sense of like, what is their current value and what score do I give that? And then what is their potential? So current value plus potential, to me, gives me a pretty good sense of ability, especially from these two reputable places. And then what you'll also notice compared to form, where the high score here was 2 and 2, so you can get a score of 4 as the maximum. Here you can get a score of 6. So I fundamentally believe that ability supersedes form, that ultimately you'll chase or you'll pay for a little bit greater potential or a little bit more ability over how they might be playing at this exact moment. So yeah, you can have a high score of 6 and in between that. So that's ability. There's one more to go through and then we bring it all together. So thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.